Chapter 1917, Yi Huan. Park Guichang originally thought that the other party would make some harsh demands, such as asking him to be a puppet and giving away all the resources of the Cage Kingdom. But I didn't expect that it was such a simple condition. He looked up at Zhang Yi in disbelief. Yes, sir. I will do as you say. Do you have any other instructions? Zhang Yi smiled faintly. No more. You just take care of yourself from now on. Zhang Yi's hand gently pressed on his shoulder. For a moment, Park Guichang had such a feeling in his heart. He was like a paramecium facing an extremely powerful god. The person in front of him wanted to kill him. It was really just a matter of thought. Yes, 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 yes. Park Guichang nodded repeatedly, not daring to have the slightest intention of disobeying. At this time, there was a whistling sound in the sky. It was Lu Karen and Deng Shintong who had returned. Lu Karen walked out of the mecha and came to Zhang Yi excitedly, with a look of asking for credit and reward, raising his cute little rosy face. Brother, I completed the task very well this time. Since when? She and Yang Xinxin stopped calling Zhang Yi by his name and simply called him brother. However, Zhang Yi did not object to this name, but felt sweet in his heart. Who can resist two smart and lovely little girls calling him brother? Zhang Yi rubbed her head lovingly. Well done. You are the MVP of this operation. By the way, how did you deal with the death of love in those missile bases? Zhang Yi asked. Lu Qian came over and said, I have removed the core components inside. Now there are only ordinary missiles, but no warheads for the god of love's death. Hee. Zhang Yi nodded. Very good. Today, Lu Qian is able to make the god of love's death, but the key materials are still not easy to obtain. The Tianhai base would need a lot of energy in the future for its development, so he naturally accepted the radioactive energy material equivalent to 50 pieces of the death of love. At this moment, a man's slightly excited voice came to Zhang Yi's ears. It's Xian Haixio in the shadow space. Mr. Zhang, can you help me rescue my wife now? Of course. Zhang Yi said to Lu Karen. Karen, do him another favor. He pointed at Park Guichang. Since he was chosen by himself to be the leader of KG State, of course he had to give him a hand. While the people hate Kenshan and all the other generals are dead, let's build momentum for him. Park Guichang is now the only Ypsilon in Cage Country. With proper publicity, he can ascend the throne on the spot. Lu Karen nodded and said, It's a small problem. Leave it to me. Zhang Yi brought Xian Haixio directly to the reform farm where Li Qingmei was imprisoned. At this time, the place was already in chaos, and the prisoners had launched a riot. The garrison here is not strong, with only a dozen guns in total. This place used to be like a prison with a circle around it, and there was no worry at all about prisoners escaping. Because outside this prison, there is a bigger prison. Where can you escape to? But now it's different. People here have also seen those images and flyers. The raging fire in the city of Presant caused the prisoners to riot. Zhang Yi quickly found the frightened Li Qingmei on the farm. When Xian Haixio saw Li Qingmei, he rushed up to her excitedly and hugged her and cried, Qingmei, Qingmei, I've brought people to rescue you. Li Qingmei didn't look like she had suffered too much injustice, nor did she even suffer from too much hunger. Although Kenshan was a pervert and tortured her mentally and physically, he never lacked her food and warm clothes. Even though she was sent to a reform farm to do hard labor, the people there did not dare to treat her too harshly. After all, she had served the marshal, so who knew when she would be released? After Li Qingmei saw who was coming, her eyes were filled with shock, and then tears of excitement came to her eyes. Haixio, is that you? Is it really you? I thought I would never see you again in this life. Whoa. The two of them hugged each other and cried bitterly. Zhang Yi was not in a hurry and just waited for them to finish crying. The two cried for a long time, venting the emotions that had been suppressed in their hearts for many days. Only then did Xian Haixio wipe away Li Qingmei's tears. Come, let me introduce him to you. He is our benefactor, a compatriot from our motherland. He has come thousands of miles here specially to save you. Li Qingmei also quickly expressed his gratitude to Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi waved his hand. It's just a small matter. What are your plans next? Do you want to continue staying in Keiji country or return to Huashu country? Xian Haixio and Li Chengmei said without any hesitation, "We want to go back to our country." Zhang Yi nodded, and the two of them were taken directly back to Tianhai City. Xian Haixio is a gourmet supernatural being. Although his ability level is very low, it is still a good idea to let him cook big pot meals for the people in the base. But then again, even if these two people can't do anything, Zhang Yi has to take them away and leave them in Tianhai City. Because these two people will be very important promotional materials in the future. On the one hand, it proves the legitimacy of Zhang Yi's team coming to Keiji country, and on the other hand, it publicizes the majesty of Zhang Yi and Keiji country to the outside world. At this moment, in the transformed farm, a different picture appeared on the huge display screen. Park Gukchang appeared in front of everyone with a righteous face. At this moment, all the screens in the entire country of Keiji are playing this content. Everyone, the darkness is over. Park Gukchang, the leader of the 5 generals of the Keiji Kingdom and the commander of the 145th Armored Division. Today I have launched a just revolution and overthrown the brutal rule of Kenshan. From now on, you don't have to worry about being exploited by him. I will ensure that all the people of the Keiji Kingdom can eat rice and broth and wear warm clothes. The country is no longer the country of certain people. Everyone is equal and there is no distinction between high and low among them. As he said this, he turned around, revealing the marshal's residence that had been blown up behind him. Don't be afraid anymore. Kenshan, he has been killed by me. Please put down your weapons and hug your compatriots around you. You are not each other's enemies. Your only enemy is Kenshan, and he is dead. Soldiers, put down your weapons and don't hurt your compatriots. The sound of the rioting farm gradually subsided. All those who were able to come here were persecuted by Kenshan's regime. Once they came here, there was basically only one outcome, which was to work until death and then be dragged away and turned into fertilizer. So, at this moment, when they heard the news of Kenshan's death, it was like seeing the light of the sun in the endless darkness. Kenshan is dead? He's really dead. That big devil, that hateful and shameful bastard, he's dead, ha ha ha. God has eyes. I knew that people who do bad things will be punished. General Park Gukchang, you are the people's hero. Long live General Park Gukchang. Long live General Park Gukchang. Li Chengmei was also so excited that her eyes were filled with tears. She looked at Hyun Hae-soo with some disbelief. Is Kenshan really dead? Xian Haixio nodded vigorously. Yes, our suffering is over. I will take you back home now. Stockholm Syndrome means that when a person is abused to a certain extent, he or she will be grateful for the slightest favor from the kidnapper. So they felt that it was Park Gukchang who rescued them, and they were extremely grateful to Park Gukchang. At this moment, Park Gukchang in Pilasang City suddenly felt a surge of power gathering in his body. He became extremely powerful, even more powerful than he was at his peak in the past. The kingdom of Keiji was a primitive and backward country, and its people were accustomed to having a god or emperor to rule them. Now that Kensane was dead, he had taken on the power of that faith. But without the spear of Longinus, he couldn't reach the heights of Kensane. Park Gukchang was so ambitious that he could hardly suppress his joy. The person who laughs last is actually me, haha. Not far away, Uncle Yu frowned as he looked at Park Gukchang, who looked like a villain. Park Gukchang remained polite to them. Park Gukchang, am where I am today thanks to all of you. Please rest assured that I will definitely follow the instructions of that gentleman. He is not stupid. Since Zhang Yi could kill Kenshan, he could certainly kill him as well. Anyway, he has become the king of Keiji Kingdom, so it is not a problem for him to be servile to foreign countries. His knees were weak anyway. Zhang Yi came here quickly and said to Park Gukchang, "You'd better sort out everything in Keiji Kingdom as soon as possible. There are many people coveting this land now." Park Gukchang nodded repeatedly. Yes. I will keep this land for you, Lord Chaos. If you are willing, I will give you the best piece of land. Park Guchong is very smart. The kingdom of Keiji is vast and sparsely populated. It was originally just a backward small country near the desert area in Africa. Land is not the most important thing to them. Technology, population, energy, and food are what they need most. If we can get hold of Zhang Yi's thigh and pay some land for the other party to station troops, it will definitely be a good deal. Zhang Yi smiled faintly, said nothing, and left the place with the people around him. No matter how good this land is, it means nothing to him, because he knew that it would not be long before there would be no so-called safe areas in this world. Zhang Yi brought his men directly back to Tianhai City. He first handed Xian Haixiu and Li Qingmei to the people at the base and asked them to take good care of the two of them. After all, they had suffered a lot during their time in Keiji country and had many health problems. Afterwards, he sent a message to Olib, telling him that he had obtained the Spear of Longinus. Olib certainly knew about the turmoil in Keiji country, but he did not expect that Zhang Yi would get the sealed object in such a short time. He couldn't help but ask, "You took the Spear of Longinus. Where is Ken Shan?" "He was killed," Zhang Yi said very calmly. Olib took a deep breath. He knew better than anyone how difficult Ken Shan was, because the Junjing sect was itself the largest religion in the world. In other words, Zhang Yi invalidated the power of faith in Ken Shan. "How did you do it?" he asked curiously. Zhang Yi smiled faintly. "Just let his people's faith return to zero. This matter cannot be blocked, so there is no need to conceal it." Olib deeply realized that Zhang Yi was an extremely dangerous guy. Not only is he strong in personal ability, but he also has strong execution ability and wisdom in doing things. "Very good. Now that you have completed the first step, we can set off to the Devil's Eye. All of us are waiting for you." Zhang Yi nodded. "Okay, it's time to take the next step." His left hand subconsciously placed on his chest, where there was a hideous demon eye tattoo, as if a demon from hell was staring at him. Zhang Yi will never feel at peace until this problem is solved. They immediately agreed to gather in an ancient city on the edge of the Sahara Desert tomorrow, and then set out together to the Devil's Eye. After Zhang Yi ended his communication with Olibu, he soon received another communication from Sheng Jing. This time, it was Ho Tu who called him personally. As soon as the video was connected, Ho Tu's slightly unhappy expression appeared in front of Zhang Yi. "Hun Dun, you went to Africa and used force there?" As the boss of the 6 major regions of Huaxiu Kingdom, Sheng Jing has always been responsible for contact with the outside world. This operation spanned half of the planet and interfered in the affairs of another country. As a result, Zhang Yi did not tell Xinjiang district a word, which naturally made Ho Tu and others very unhappy. "If you do this, it will cause serious international disputes. Do you understand?" Zhang Yi smiled faintly and said, "2 of our compatriots have been treated inhumanely in the country of Keiji. As an alien from the country of Huaxiu, I have traveled thousands of miles to rescue them. Doesn't this reflect the majesty of our great country? From now on, I will let everyone know that a Huaxiu face and a Huaxiu identity card are security certificates leading to any part of the world." Hoda said speechlessly, "If you do this, it will become very troublesome for the aliens from our 6 regions to go to other countries to participate in operations in the future. People will be wary of us, subverting their regime. This is very troublesome, do you understand?" Zhang Yi waved his hand. "The Junjing Church and the Nordic countries asked me to do this. The country of Keiji now has their new ruler, not me. I can now let the new leader of the country of Keiji announce to the outside world that we are the friendly forces they invited to overthrow the tyranny and the army of justice." Hoda sighed. "You think the problem is too simple?" Zhang Yi smiled faintly, with an indifferent look on his face. Of course, he could not tell Ho Tu the real purpose of his trip to the kingdom of Keiji. Whether it is the Devil's Eye tattoo, the inheritance he and Yang Xinxin got from Tianyu Palace, or Ling's mechanical body left behind in the sealed place of Mammon, they are all secrets that cannot be told. Sure enough, Ho Tu also raised her own questions. "Hun Dun, you have never been a person who likes to stir up trouble. But this time you came all the way to do such a thankless task. What is your purpose?" Ho Tu stared at Zhang Yi, trying to see through his heart. What kind of benefits did they promise you that made you go against your principles? Zhang Yi rubbed his hands and said in a deep voice, I just want to save the world. You should know that the monster that appeared in Chernobyl has the ability to destroy the world. We must seal it up. This matter is already known to the whole world, and Shengjing cannot help but investigate it. Oh, so you are doing this for the greater good of humanity? Ho Tu looked unconvinced. Are you kidding? When did you, Zhang Yi, become such a selfless person? If there is no benefit, you, Zhang Yi, would not do such a thing. Zhang Yi was too lazy to continue being questioned by Ho Tu. He leaned back on the sofa and said lazily, This is my secret. As one of the 2 bishop-level extraordinary people in Huashu Kingdom, although Zhang Yi does not ignore Ho Tu, there is no need for him to be in awe of her. He says what he wants to say and doesn't say what he doesn't want to say. Besides, don't you, Ho Tu, have any secrets? Zhang Yi didn't follow you around asking questions. Ho Tu sensed Zhang Yi's displeasure, and she frowned slightly. Are you planning to go to the Sahara Desert and enter the place where Zhulong is sealed? This is too dangerous. It is not something that humans can contend with at all. Zhang Yi said lightly. I have my own considerations. At this time, if Ho Tu still didn't realize that Zhang Yi was hiding the secret about Mammon, she would be too stupid. However, she still wanted to persuade Zhang Yi again. I don't know what you went through in Chernobyl, but I hope you remember that our Huashu country is a whole. You don't have to bear anything alone. You have been through a lot in the past few years, and you may underestimate our regional power. But believe me, only when we become a whole can we better face the catastrophe in this doomsday. Having said this, she paused, as if to gain Zhang Yi's trust, and took the initiative to reveal a secret. In the past few years, we have been actively contacting the Dragon Clan under the Qinling Mountains. Perhaps in the near future, we can draw on their strength. Han Dun, you have performed very well outside. In the future, you will be the pillar supporting the Huashu Kingdom. Even the Qinling Dragon Clan has been paying attention to your actions. Hearing this, a sharp light suddenly burst out in Zhang Yi's eyes. My actions? Did you reveal them to them? Ho Tu was silent for a moment, then said, They have no ill will towards us. It can even be said that they're the ones who promoted the development of our civilization. Zhang Yi also frowned. The Qinling Dragon Clan treated them very well indeed. The first time he entered the Qinling Mountains, he stole a piece of sacrificial spirit. He originally thought that he was lucky, but now that he has become a bishop-level alien, he realized that it was completely because of someone's leniency. Later, Bai Longzi came to the rescue and saved the entire Huashu Kingdom. However, Zhang Yi does not want to rely entirely on others. Because aren't the Qinling Dragon Clan themselves also hidden beneath the earth? This means that when faced with a world-destroying disaster, they could only choose to escape. Only when a person has value will he be valued by others. Now Zhang Yi has been marked by Mammon, and he doesn't believe that anyone would go against the Druk tribe for him. What's more, he inherited the legacy of the Yihan tribe and could easily become a target of hunting by all parties. He couldn't even trust the Qinling Dragon Clan. To be realistic, even humans as a fellow species cannot be trusted, let alone ancient humans who are a different race. Ho Tu fell into a long silence. After all, she is not good at talking to others. However, if Meng Yuanjun or Shang Dawen were asked to talk to Zhang Yi would probably ignore them. When the strength is not equal, the so-called negotiation is nothing but self-humiliation. Zhang Yi is like a piece of meat on a rolling pin. He won't tolerate any oil or salt. Ho Tu was helpless. She could only say to Zhang Yi, Han Dun, I just think that if there really is something good under the devil's eye, then instead of letting others benefit from it, it would be better to let our own people benefit from it. By then, Shengjing District would also like to participate. After all the fuss, he actually just wanted to get a piece of the pie. To put it bluntly, Ho Tu cannot easily leave Huashu Kingdom due to her ability attributes. After the trip to Fremons, everyone knew that Zhang Yi had reaped huge rewards. Who wouldn't be jealous? The Shengjing District could no longer sit still, and Ho Tu proposed, Can Shang Dawen go with you on this operation? Zhang Yi raised his eyebrows. Let him go. What can you provide me? Ho-Tu said. A black chariot-level alien. All kinds of resources and weapons can be freely supplied. Even space-based weapons can be used to assist you. Zhang Yi really laughed this time. I have no shortage of extraordinary people. I also have plenty of weapons and resources. As for space-based weapons, are you sure it can work underground? Now that it really comes down to a competition of foundation, Zhang Yi's Tianhai city has most likely surpassed any other region. During his trip to Fremons, he got so many good things from the Tianyu Palace and the mechanical civilization. Ho-Tu couldn't help it. Don't you have to show some mercy? Kindness. Zhang Yi smiled. That's not impossible. But I never do business at a loss. You have to give me something valuable, okay? For example, Zhang Yi smiled. Let me communicate directly with the Qinling Dragon Clan. How about it? Zhang Yi was very curious about the Qinling Dragon Clan. So far, this is the only clan that has shown favor towards humans. Perhaps we can get more information about the end of the world and the Druk tribe from them. The information provided by the Ihan tribe is only partial. You cannot expect a tribe that has become weary of the world to give you too much before it dies. According to Ling, they stopped paying attention to what was happening on the planet billions of years ago. But it is obvious that the Qinling Dragon Clan is closer to this generation of humans. If I'm not mistaken, the Qinling Dragon Clan, the Nash Kingdom, the Zepin Kingdom under the Neon Rainbow, and the Wulwan Empire are all from the 5th generation of humans, Yihuan. What they have in common is that they all have reptilian characteristics. Dear viewers, thanks for staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.